Do you know God cares about the people who stay in your life? Because the people in your life are important to your destiny. Having the wrong crowd might hinder you from fulfilling your assignment. In this story, you will understand why, as a chosen one, you must sometimes walk away from friends and family. You will learn the importance of your divine assignment and your place in bringing God's agenda to pass on earth. Now, imagine this. You've been feeling it for a while now. A quiet tug on your heart, a whisper in the stillness, a sense that God is calling you to something greater. But alongside that calling comes confusion, pain, a deep ache that comes when familiar voices grow distant and the people you once leaned on are no longer walking with you. You are not alone. This is the path of the chosen. When God places a divine assignment upon your life, the journey begins with separation. It may feel like rejection, like loss, but it's divine alignment. What feels like people walking away is often God making room for destiny. Let's go back to the story of Joseph. Joseph was a dreamer, a young boy with a divine calling upon his life. God gave him visions of rulership, of influence, of purpose far beyond his years. But those dreams, as glorious as they were, attracted envy. And that envy came not from enemies, but from his own blood, his brothers. Genesis tells us, when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than any of them, they hated him. When Joseph shared his dreams, they hated him even more. The very people who should have celebrated him were plotting to destroy him. Why? Because destiny provokes envy in the hearts of the insecure. And when God shows you glimpses of your future, you must guard those revelations. Dreams are fragile. Shared in the wrong hands, they can be discouraged, ridiculed, even sabotaged. Joseph's journey to destiny began not with applause, but with betrayal. His brothers threw him into a pit, sold him into slavery, lied to their father about his death. It was cruel, it was painful, but it was necessary. Because had Joseph remained with his brothers, he would have never reached Egypt. And Egypt was the land of his assignment. God used separation to protect Joseph, to prepare him, to position him. And he will do the same with you. Sometimes, God removes you from your comfort zone to birth a new beginning, just like Abraham. God told Abraham in Genesis 12, "Go from your country, your people, and your father's household to the land I will show you." Imagine that, leaving everything familiar, every face, every friend, every custom. Why would God do that? Because where you're going requires a different environment. Old surroundings can carry old mindsets, and new seasons require renewed thinking. Abraham couldn't step into promise while remaining in the place of the past. He had to walk by faith, leave behind the known for the unknown, and God blessed him. Your surroundings matter. Your company shapes your focus, and God knows the weight of your calling. That's why he sometimes isolates before he elevates, because what he's doing in you requires silence, requires focus, requires refinement. Lot went with Abraham at first, but in time, their herdsmen quarreled. The land couldn't support both. And Abraham, in wisdom, said, "Let's part ways." It wasn't personal. It was spiritual, because Lot was not part of the promise. You see, some people are with you for a season. They're not bad people, but they're not destined to go the distance. Separation is not always about conflict. Sometimes, it's about calling. God can't pour new wine into old wineskins. He can't give you fresh revelation, surrounded by old distractions. And he won't send you to build his kingdom while you're still seeking approval from people who don't understand your anointing. So he begins to pull you away. People stop calling. Conversations feel strained. Invitations cease, and you begin to feel alone. But it's in that loneliness God begins to speak. He gives you clarity, He deepens your prayer life. He strengthens your identity. He shows you who you are outside of who they said you were. And he begins to refine you. Like a silversmith sits with the silver in the fire, God sits with you in the flames of refinement, removing impurities, burning away pride, reshaping your character. Malachi 3:2-3 says, "For he will be like a refiner's fire. He will purify the Levites and refine them like gold and silver. Then the Lord will have men who will bring offerings in righteousness." God refines before he releases. And refinement requires solitude. Jesus himself experienced it. Before his public ministry, he was led into the wilderness. 40 days, alone. No crowd, no applause. Just him, the Father, and the devil trying to derail the mission. But that wilderness strengthened him. He came out in power, ready to fulfill his purpose. So, if you feel like you're in a wilderness, take heart. You're in good company. Because the wilderness is where God works. It's where he transforms, where he reintroduces you to you, where he aligns your spirit with heaven's agenda. Don't despise the pruning. It means you're bearing fruit. John 15 tells us, "Every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit." Separation is part of your preparation, and preparation precedes manifestation. There's a reason Jesus said, "Who are my mother and my brothers?" pointing to his disciples. It wasn't a dismissal of his family. It was a declaration of priority. Kingdom over comfort. Purpose over familiarity. God is building you into someone who can carry glory, who can walk in authority, who can speak with power, and not everyone is equipped to walk beside that version of you. So don't fight the separation. Surrender to it. Let God choose your circle. Let him align your relationships with your purpose. Let him remove the noise so you can hear the instruction. You are chosen. Chosen for something sacred. Set apart for something eternal. And being chosen means being called out, called up, called higher. The people who walk away didn't reject you. They released you. So you could walk boldly into what God has for you. And yes, it may hurt. You may cry. You may grieve. But one day, you will look back and see that every separation was a setup, a divine rearrangement, a holy redirection. Joseph rose from the pit to the palace. Abraham became the father of nations. Jesus stepped from the wilderness into world-changing ministry. And you too will step into destiny. But first, you must walk the narrow road. You must say yes to God, even when it costs you comfort, even when it costs you companionship. Because what God is birthing in you is not common. It is consecrated. So trust him. Let go of the ones he asks you to release. Embrace the stillness. Lean into the silence. Let his voice grow louder than every other. And remember, you are never truly alone. God walks with you. He guides your steps. He celebrates your obedience. He surrounds you with angels. And in time, he will bring the right people, the divine connections, the kingdom relationships that sharpen, strengthen, and sustain. This is not the end. It is the beginning of a beautiful unfolding, a holy unveiling, the rise of the chosen. So stand tall, walk on, and know you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand apart. Because you are called, you are refined, you are chosen, and your assignment is waiting.